Hello everyone, I'm ReyneDance and welcome to my very first StoryPaint. A StoryPaint is an idea I came up with a little while ago, where instead of just talking about the drawing in general, or what I'm doing, I talk specifically about the character, basically telling you a story. Their story. Honestly though, what I'm basically doing is a voiceover for my speed paint. However, my hopes for this idea is that it possibly becomes a series and actually gets me to start my channel. So, without further ado, let's begin. Today's character is Professor Sight. Sight is the main character in a comic project that I've been working on for almost 2 years called Soul Hope Private Academy. The reason his name is Sight is because he's blind. He chose this name due to its ironic nature, hoping his students would find it funny and amusing. Sight is also principal and founder of Soul Hope Private Academy. His main goal upon building the school was to enlighten young minds as well as bridge the gap between humans and spirits. In my comic, instead of spirit meaning ghost, it means a powerful magic being that embodies a certain element. The 6 main elements being water, fire, stone, wind, as well as life and death being the strongest. In the world that I created, humans and spirits used to live alongside each other in harmony. However, certain events of the past tore this harmony apart, causing the worlds to be separated from each other. So, in order to bridge the gap in a different way, Sight decided to build his school. As well as his big goals for the school, his goals for his students are just as great. He aims not only to teach them, but to make sure they succeed and learn to the fullest of their ability. This often requires him to private tutor some of his students, or alert other teachers of their struggles to best help them in any way he can. His philosophy is that his students are the future, so he takes it upon himself to make sure that it is the best one possible. However, even under all the goals and hopes he gives to his students and the school, he isn't perfect. Throughout his life, Sight has faced and met many hard situations that left him unable to cope. Situations that led him to have depression as well as PTSD, which he battles with on a day-to-day basis. Although it isn't just Sight that suffers from these problems. Throughout my story, there are a few other characters who have issues such as this. The reason behind this is because I wanted my story to be relatable, as well as show people that it's okay to have these types of things or problems. With this story, I want to show people that having issues such as PTSD or depression doesn't make you weirder or any less of a person than anybody else. I want people to know that no matter what makes you different, you still matter and are still valued. Things like depression, as well as things I don't name, don't devalue you as a human. That is my goal with this story, and that is something that I will stick by until the end. However, setting such a big goal for this story has led me to believe that I've set really high standards for my story. Standards that may or may not be too high for myself. I personally tend to overthink, and maybe it's what I'm doing with this story. However, I still plan to see it through to the end, especially due to the importance of the main goal and main idea of what I'm trying to do. If I were to quit now, the point of what I'm trying to do would be lost. And so finishing it, even if it may be hard, is something that I have to do. Now, I'd like to apologize for going on several tangents. This is the first video I've ever done, and I'm really not used to doing things like this. It's rather difficult for me to talk for long periods at a time, especially without losing my train of thought. So I think I'm going to wrap up a couple things, and then I'm going to put music on for the rest of the video. A quick disclaimer about my comic. So throughout this video, I've been talking about it as if it's already been started. The truth is, I haven't gotten very far in starting it at all. The farthest I've gotten on are character designs, some storyboards, as well as blueprints and things like that for the school itself. As I said at the beginning of the video, I started this project almost 2 years ago, and that's a long time for not even having started it yet. Sadly, I tend to do this sometimes with certain projects. While I am trying to get better at this, I still have a far ways to go. If you are interested in seeing this project come to life, please comment down below and encourage me to do so. Doing this will help me stay motivated and make me more likely to continue this project. While I'm still very interested in it myself, I can get sidetracked, and your comments will help me motivate myself better than I can. One last thing. I apologize again for all the tangents. I talked a bit more about my story than the character itself, but I am new to this. Otherwise, I'd like to thank you all for bearing with me on my very first StoryPaint, and hope to see you guys in the next video. ReyneDance out.
begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love like you. I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true. 'Cause I think you're so good, and I'm nothing like you. Look at you go, I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm so special. If I could begin to